Tigrai Human Rights Forum has been launched in the presence of representatives from the UN, OHCHR, Interim Administration in Tigray, Civic Societies of Tigray, and different NGOs. During the launching ceremony, Charles Kwame, United Nations Deputy Representative, Ethiopia Country Director, reminded how the war in Tigray has inflicted devastating impact on civilians. He made an opening remark with regard to the overall rationale of launching the forum. In the opening remark, the United Nations Deputy Representative accredited the delay on the implementation of the peace process as a result of the complexity of the situation. The Deputy Representative assured to collaborate with all human rights partners on addressing the legacy of the war in Tigray despite the presence of several challenges.
The conflict in Tigray was devastating. It claimed many lives, caused unprecedented displacements and destruction of property in the region. It's regrettable that innocent people had to endure such suffering for more than 2 years because of the conflict. While we recognize the efforts and the progress towards the restoration of peace and stability in this region, challenges still remain, including but not limited to human rights violations related to humanitarian crisis, forced displacements, demonstrations, protection concerns, ongoing incidents of abductions around border areas of Tigray with Eritrea, and the conflicts in the neighboring region. And I think the reason why we saw that it's important to have this forum is because of the need for us to pool our efforts together to see how we can coordinate and work together to advance some of the critical issues of human rights that affect the population post the conflict and within the framework of the cessation of hostilities agreement implementation. So of course, we know that the implementation remains bumpy, also because of the complexity of the situation here. But what we want is to be able to be more up to date on what happens when it comes to human rights issues and human rights concerns, because we need to be able to bring this to the attention and also suggest solutions on prevention, on corrective measures, but most importantly, on accountability, because that is the fundamental principle that we espouse.
During the launching ceremony, the head of Tigray Justice Bureau, Hadush Tesfa, started his statement by expressing the degree of human rights violation Tigray has witnessed during the course of the war. He noted the relevance of such platforms to deliver collaborative resource and expertise to promote and protect human rights violations. The head stressed on the role of his office in facilitating the underlying principles of the forum.
As you all know, we are in a post-war scenario. In this post-war scenario, we are dealing with gross human rights violations in a very limited resource, in a very limited capacity. We are dealing with high crime rate in our region because of the conflict. This forum will provide an opportunity for all stakeholders to share their experiences, expertise, and best practices in promoting and protecting human rights. And as you all know, the Regional Justice Bureau is a critical player in ensuring access to justice and protection of human rights in the region. So bringing all these important players to the same table will enhance our capacity to deal with the gross human rights violations that we have witnessed during the conflict.
Representing the civic societies of Tigray during the ceremony, the CEO for Alliance of Civil Society Organizations of Tigray, Yared Berha, started his statement with a criticism on the failures of the concerned bodies to work on accelerating the process of healing, justice and accountability and implementation of the Pretoria Peace Agreement. He expressed his assurance to cooperate with the forum in accelerating the promotion and protection of gross human rights violations. During his statement, the CEO calls for all stakeholders to provide support for the forum in every way possible.
This forum is being launched at a time when the UN Human Rights Council unconvincingly terminated the mandate of the International Commission on Human Rights Experts. This forum is being launched at a time when the AU Commission on Human Rights on human and people's rights prematurely terminated the mandate of the Commission of Inquiry without even publishing any report with regard to its work so far. This forum is being launched at a time when attention on Tigray is shifting, though human rights violations are continuing and the humanitarian situation is perhaps worsening. This forum is being launched at a time when the much celebrated Pretoria Agreement, Pretoria Peace Deal is not fully implemented, but IDPs are waging demonstrations for their return, and but we are simply seeing, we are not seeing any impactful measures from the international community and all actors, including the government. Taking this opportunity, I want to assure you that ACAT will do its best to contribute its fair share to make this forum as robust and effective as possible. Finally, I want to call on OHCHR and all other stakeholders in this room and beyond to support the activities of the forum in all possible ways, technically, financially, and in all other ways.